So it's my great pleasure to introduce you to the editor and publisher of Pro Football Weekly. Please meet Mr. Hub Arkush. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Now, you have a very interesting story to tell. You were in pain for a lot of years, weren't you?
I was, yes. A lot of years from a lot of places. And met a lot of people until I eventually met Dr. Howe and heard about stem cell replacement and decided I needed to do something because it wasn't going well. And I had had surgeries on both my knees. I've had back surgery. I've had elbow surgery. I've had a lot of surgery.
Wow.
And the knees in particular, though, I had been to several doctors who'd recommended complete knee replacements. And I said, no, I'm not going to do that. But I also reached the point where I couldn't go much further. And I heard about Dr. Howe and her treatment. And I had stem cell injections in both knees. It's a little over a year ago now. The left knee is 100% pain-free. The right knee, I'll tell you, there's still the occasional bump grind, but considering it was about a 9.5 or a 10 when we started, and it's probably about a 1.5 or a 2 on the pain scale now, it's just tremendous success.
You know that sounds almost too good to be true, right?
Well, I'm the one who's saying it, and I find myself, struggling to believe it sometimes because this went on for a long time. I mean, it was probably, let's see, the first knee surgery was about 15, 16 years ago. The other one was the year after. And so...
Now, the surgery that you had, what was ACL, MCL, what was going on in your knee?
No, the ligaments were intact, but I had meniscus removed in both knees, and it reached the point where the right knee was pretty much bone on bone. There may have been a couple little pieces left, but for the most part, it was pretty nasty.
For those of you lucky enough to not know what we're talking about here, the meniscus is the cushion between your two joints in your knee, and if that's gone, my understanding is it's gone. There's no way to make it any cushier.
Well, that's what I thought too until we heard about this process to regenerate it. But yes, it's cartilage is what people hear when they think about football or sports. You tore the cartilage; it's called the meniscus,
right?
And it is what protects the balls and the sockets from bumping on each other and from grinding each other away. And again, I thought for many, many years once it was gone, it was gone. But
right.
Turns out it's not.
And so, how long was the procedure?
I think it took 5 minutes.
Okay, so this is the part where my audience is going, what?
5 minutes for both knees, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
That is amazing. And you left, and how long before you actually felt better?
It was probably about 2-3 weeks. The left knee was not as severe, so it came back more quickly. The right knee took about 3 weeks to get to where it got. And by the way, when I say 5 minutes, that's in the office. That's numbing it up a little bit. A couple painless shots. I mean, there's really nothing to it. People probably picture these big needles and this horrible stuff. A tiny little needle. They just get it in the knee, and I didn't realize when she was done. It was really quick and painless and easy. And a couple weeks. But after 15, 16 years, those couple weeks weren't bad.
Are you stunned that everyone doesn't know about this?
Well, I'm surprised that well, let me take that back. No, I'm not, because it's gaining notoriety quickly.
Well, because I literally, from the time I sat down on the couch and met Dr. Howe and met everyone involved in the Stem Cell Institute, I'm thinking, I have issues with my knee. I had surgery on it years ago, and it's acting up, and I'm like, okay, should I do this? Should I not do this? What would you recommend?
Well, I've had great results, so I would say do it. I think more importantly, I haven't met anybody yet who has not had good results, so I'm not sure why anybody wouldn't want to try it. Now, again, talk to your own doctors. Obviously, It's good advice. You see what they say. But I have heard nothing negative. I've heard tons of positive, and beyond all of that, I've had my own results. So I would highly recommend it.
What kind of activities were your knees keeping you from doing when they hurt?
Well, let's talk about how I ruined the knees in the first place.
Okay.
I was running I played football in high school. I played a little bit in college. I think I came through okay there. But what happens when you do that, you work out, you get big, you stop lifting weights, you turn to jelly, which is what I did. So I started running to try and lose weight and get in shape. And over a period of time, tried to run some marathons for about 20 years. I was about a 40, 50 mile a week guy, and on blacktop, on cement, and I'm pretty sure that that's where I did the damage. And I think it was a series of a lot of little nicks, okay? So, once I had done all that damage and destroyed them, then you kind of get used to it. You go around for a while, you say, I'm getting older, this must be what it is.
Right.
And I can't remember, to be honest with you, how I bumped into Dr. Howe and how I found out about this.
Right.
But I know that from the time we started talking about it, it just seemed too good to be true, as I said. Checked with people who know better than me, and now I can't imagine why anybody else wouldn't want to find out the same thing.
What are you enjoying activity-wise now?
Well, I won't run again because that's how I did the damage in the first place.
Right.
But we're dog people in my house. We have a bunch of big golden retrievers, and we walk about 3 miles every morning, about 4 miles every night. And prior to the injections, was getting about maybe 1.5 miles at night. That was about it. If you've ever had a bunch of big golden retrievers running around the house, if they don't get exercise, that's not a good thing. And so that's the bulk of it. But I'm back to, we've got grandchildren now. We're playing some baseball in the backyard. We played a little basketball the other day. I couldn't have thought about that a year ago. And so I can do pretty much anything I want.
So do you feel it's a real improvement in your quality of life?
There's no question about it. I think the most important part, which I talked to Dr. Howe about, I wasn't sleeping at night. I mean, the last couple of years, it had gotten to the point where the right knee was pretty much on fire all night long. And, again, we want to be completely honest with everybody. It's not 100%. I think most people do have those results. My right knee was bad enough that occasionally there's a little tick in it, but I haven't lost sleep since I had the shots. I mean, it's really completely taken care of my biggest concern, which was just the ability to do normal things like get a night's sleep.
Well, so give me on a scale of 1 to 10. So at its worst in the middle of the night, was it a 10?
I always say 9.5 because I assume there must be something worse than what I'm doing. But yeah, it was right there.
And so now at 9.5, that's pretty bad. And now?
At night, 0. I mean, the only problems I have with it now is I overdo it a little bit. There's probably still a little bit of arthritis in there. But as I say, an occasional tick, I don't take anything for it. I mean, I was taking anything I could get my hands on for a while.
Right.
I wasn't an addict, but I mean, all the prescribed painkillers, all the non-prescribed painkillers, I haven't taken a painkiller at all since I had the shots.
Okay, sold. I'm there. I mean, I'm sitting here. It's funny that you mentioned in the middle of the night because that is when my knee just cracked. You hear that? Yes. So that is when it really bothers you. Or getting up from the movies, and I'm young and I've got 2 young kids, and I'm nervous that I won't be able to enjoy my life with them. And I'm excited to see if this works.
Well, one of the things that was very compelling to me, I mentioned grandchildren. We have 3 of them now, and was very active with my own kids, was their little league coach in every sport they did. Now they've got their own moms and dads for that, but you want to be part of it. You want to be able to do things with them. You want to be able to run around with them. My grandkids particularly love the pool. Even in the pool, which takes some stress off the joints, my knees, they would not allow me to just kind of run across the pool to help them float and do whatever. We've been in the pool all summer, and it's the kids' favorite thing, and I can't imagine what it would be like not being able to spend that time with them.
You know what it's like? It's you getting old. It's you getting cranky. And I think that's what we see in a lot of people who age and feel that age is mostly they're in pain.
Yeah, and I think the reality is getting old is a good thing because the alternative is kind of nasty.
True.
But you don't have to take everything that comes with it. And there are some things that we can't avoid. I'm sure there will come a time, hopefully 5, 10, 20 years from now, maybe I'll need to have another round of shots, whatever it may be. But something like this that allows you to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, with who you want to do it, and it's so easy. I can't imagine why not do it.
Here's the part that blows me away. One treatment, one time, 5 minutes, and you're done. You're not going back.
Right. Well, I mean, to give everybody the full boat, went in for the examination first because one of the things I really appreciated about the Wellness Institute is they wanted to make sure that I was a good candidate. They wanted to tell me what to expect. They wanted not to raise false expectations. So I went in. I had it wasn't a physical so much as an examination, knees, back, and neck, because I mentioned I've had several surgeries. And one of the concerns was that the problems with my cervical spine, because I've got several herniated discs there, it throws my spine out of whack. I've had surgery on my lumbar spine. Am I out of whack is how I say it. I'm sure Dr. Howe would have a better way to put it. And am I causing undue pressure on the knees? And the truth was yes, but they showed me how that could be fixed to make sure after I had the treatment that I wouldn't repeat that and cause the damage all over again. So the initial examination, come back a week later, literally I don't think it was 5 minutes, but it certainly wasn't more.
Who would you recommend this to?
I would recommend it to anybody who's in pain, assuming that it's not the kind of pain that can't be helped. I mean, there are different things. As I mentioned, my ligaments were intact. I'm not a doctor. I don't know what to say about that.
Right.
I don't know what the stem cell reaction is to ligaments, but I know relative to the cartilage, the meniscus, the cushioning, it clearly has regenerated. I used to be able to hear my knees. I mean, we heard yours crack once.
We did.
I could hear mine every step I took. I was like a percussion section.
Oh, gosh.
I don't hear them anymore.
And I
So
love
something's
that
in there.
I love that all 3 of your doctors also recommended it.
They all absolutely said that there's no reason not to. Now, the science is, we're learning more about it. I think there's probably many other applications for this that we're going to discover, other things that can help. What they told me is what they knew, which is that all the research they've seen has shown some positive results. It doesn't help everybody. It's helped most of the people that they knew about. It definitely has helped me.
One of the things that Dr. Howe is offering is a free seminar. She actually will sit there for an hour and answer any questions, any concerns, so people can really get to know what's right for them.
Right. So 2 things. I've attended one of the seminars. She's far more patient than I am. And number 2, yes, you can ask any question you want. I heard some questions that I had never thought of that I kind of wish I had asked, although now it doesn't matter because it worked out fine for me. And I don't know, how many people from that particular seminar chose to have the procedure, but I can't imagine why they wouldn't after hearing it. And I saw the way people reacted.
Right.
And the first 15, 20 minutes is, this can't really be. And then they start showing examples. Some people come in who've had it. They start explaining. And by the end, what you see is a lot of people with hope who didn't have a lot of hope when they came into the seminar.
What would you pay when you were in pain to have your knees back?
Oh, I probably would have paid anything. Fortunately, it didn't cost that much, but yeah, I can't imagine anything I wouldn't have paid to try and make them better.
Yeah, good. Well, is there anything else that you want to share with our audience?
You know, I have to tell you, this is serious stuff, and there's not enough anybody could pay me to say something if it wasn't true. I mean, the reality is it works. I hope that other people will benefit from it. No, I wasn't paid for it, and I don't think this is the kind of thing that anybody should be doing paid endorsements on.
Right.
I'm amazed at how much better I feel now, and so I strongly recommend to anybody who has the opportunity, at least attend the seminar. Ask your questions, get your answers, talk to your own doctors, and if there's any way you can, get in and have the treatment because it works.
I have to tell you, it is so inspiring meeting you. I'm sitting here with a great amount of hope. I've been in pain for far too long, and I know that so many of my audience feels the same way. So, Hub, I want to thank you very much for being my guest, and you heard it from someone who's had this, who's been in pain, whose life is completely different. You owe it to yourself to check this out.